Hello, friends and colleagues. Thank you for coming back to my channel and watching some of the videos that I hope you find helpful to grow your massage practice. I'm Julie Campbell. I am the former owner of Written on the Body Massage and Acupuncture Studio, and now the owner and business coach at the Business of Massage. And you can find more free information at my website, massagebusinesshelp.com. Like and subscribe to my channel for lots more free videos. I'm trying to do around 4 a month, so hopefully you'll find some useful information there. And you can always email me at massagebusinesscoach@gmail.com if you would like to suggest any types of material that I should cover to help you grow your massage practice. Alrighty, so today we are talking about financial forecasting for wellness businesses. I created this workbook for massage therapists to estimate what their costs are, to find out their cost per client, and to really do a better job of understanding what your bottom line is for each session so that you can set yourself up for success. I have found that most of the massage therapists that I work with in one-on-one coaching sessions is that they're getting burnt out, they're not making enough money, they don't really understand their bottom line, they don't really understand what they truly need to make to live, and honestly, in the end, how few clients you really would need if you set your prices appropriately. So I think with a little bit more understanding, this will be super helpful. So I actually have this workbook for sale on my website. If you go to my store, it's only typically $3.99, but I have it on sale at this moment for $1.99, and I may leave it at that price. We'll see. It did take me quite some time to put together, but I really want massage therapists to thrive and feel successful and not feel stressed about their businesses. I want you all to do well. I have done this myself, so I understand, how much you care about your clients and how important they are to you, and also what a struggle it is for some of us to charge what we're worth. Your skills are worth a lot. You help so many people, and you deserve to live a life that feels good to you. So let's get started. You'll see here that there are several different tabs. So you will want to choose the one that's best for you, or maybe you'll want to play around with all of them to see if, you want to go a different direction in the future. The first one will probably be the one that applies to most of you, which is just a solo therapist. I'll go through kind of each of the pieces and then we'll play around with the numbers. So anything in blue, you'll see there's a little note here that says do not change cells in blue. That's because there's a formula in this cell that's doing a calculation. If you know about Excel formulas, or I'm using Google Sheets here, and you feel comfortable changing those, then go for it. But you might make a copy so that you have a master just in case it gets messed up. And you, of course, can always email me and I will send you a fresh copy if it gets messed up for any reason. But if you're not so comfortable with Excel or Google Sheets, then you should just leave these cells in blue alone. They will do their own calculations, as you will see. The green is more about information that is important that you can play around with to kind of get the answers that you're looking for. So you can definitely change the cells in green, and you can always look up here to see if there's a formula or not. If it's just a number, there's no formula. Formulas look more like this. Okay, so you have your number of massages that you think you will perform per month. So whatever you do per week times 4 is a good way to do that. Average amount you'll charge per massage. Additional income per session would be like if you think you're going to do product sales with most massages, or you might have an add-on or any other type of income that you would want to include here. I don't necessarily recommend including tips because those are so variable. You'll want to have something that you can kind of rely on, or you can change this to 0. And then amount you would pay to a massage therapist. So this is going to be, say you charge $100 and you want to give 50% to the therapist or to yourself, then you would put $50 here, or whatever that might be, and you can play around with that number. And then this is calculating from other cells how much your total income per month will be. Okay, so massage therapist salary is taking the number here times the number here and showing you what your salary would be per month, or your massage therapist salary would be per month. And then these are your expenses. So you'll just kind of fill in what your expenses are per month. And I did put them to be variable by month, so you can fill in like month by month if for some reason you have, you only pay your liability insurance once a year. You could put that in month 1 and then have the rest be 0. If you only pay licensing fees once a year, same thing. Or you could divide them up and put them over 12 months, whatever the case may be. These are example numbers just so we have something to play around with. But, you can make things what you need. You can also change these. If you want to put, salary paid to office manager and put something there, whatever you need here. All of this is changeable. I put some others here so you have some extra cells to play around with as well. So yeah. And then taxes, I have calculated at 30%. I do not know if this is going to be accurate for your situation. So that would definitely be something that you would want to update if it's not correct. What you can do is either change this cell. So this is the 30% here. You could change it to 10%. And then that's going to change the amount. And then you could just copy paste this formula into each of these cells. Or you could just calculate it yourself and just take the formula completely out and then put your own number in, if you think you want to save $100 per month for taxes, whatever the case may be. But we're going to put our formula back in. We're going to change it to 30%. And that's what we're going to save towards taxes. And that's going to auto calculate based on the amount of income you think you're going to bring in. So this is definitely an estimate, right? When you were doing actual numbers, you would want to save 30% of whatever your actual income is, or whatever you've decided to save. Good idea to save for taxes. That's all I can say. And I'm not a tax professional, so if you're wondering what you should save towards taxes, I definitely recommend consulting with a tax professional. They are essential and they can really help you understand what your tax situation is and make sure that you don't end up with surprises at the end of the year. Okay, and then it's just giving you a total for each month here. And then you can see at the end, we have annual expenses total, annual income total, and then whether or not you have profit or loss. So if this is a loss, you will see it turn red, and we say, hey, if it's negative, you want to increase the cost per session or the number of sessions or reduce expenses. Going a little bit further down, this is going to auto calculate to, it basically is taking all of your expenses and dividing by the number of clients, but this is not including the salary paid to the massage therapist. So this really tells you, if you're just a solo therapist, what your bottom line is to just cover expenses. Oh, sorry, wait, I'm mixing this up. This is with the salary. I apologize. So this is with the salary and expenses. I'm not reading very well while I'm talking. And then this is your true bottom line. This is what your cost per client is. So this is a really good number to have because it lets you know if something increases, your cost per client's going up. And what's that going to look like? It's really low right now, but this is probably way less than what would be normal if you have, I have $500 rent. Maybe you have a lot more rent than that. It just depends on your area and your situation. So these are really good numbers to know, especially when you include salary. And one other thing I recommend is, so it's good to know just like your base number. This is what I absolutely have to make in order to cover my base expenses. But I would even take it a step further and have a third number, which is, what do you want to make in profit? Like, what's your ideal financial situation? If you were to have, $2,000 in personal savings a month. I know that's a lot, but it's just the number that came to my mind because I'm looking at the tax number. How much would you have to make per session? And this will help you understand like a goal, what you're working towards for that ideal situation, and then also what you can't discount below. So if you were, running a promotion, gift certificate promotion, or whatever the case may be, or offering a sliding scale, those types of things, you'll know I cannot discount below $65 because I have to pay myself. That's important. And I have to cover all my bills. So no matter what, I cannot go below this number. This also will help you deciding whether or not you want to take insurance or whether or not taking insurance is wise for you. So I have sort of a base estimation of what each insurance pays out, and there's a lot that goes into this depending on the plan, so on and so forth, but you will, you can use these as baseline numbers, and this will tell you whether or not your number here is in line with these numbers here. So for instance, if you took Regions and this is your bottom line, then you would still be making a profit of $35-ish. But with Kaiser or HealthNet, you'd be losing every session. So those are good things to know when you're deciding whether or not you should take health insurance. Okay, so I have the expenses set here pretty low, I would say. But maybe this is accurate for some of you. And I have the salary set just a little more than 50% of the charge per session. 95 has been what I've been seeing around my area a lot, so I thought that that would be a good number to play around with. And I'm going to change this to 0 because a lot of us don't sell products, and maybe you couldn't even rely on $10 per session either. 64 is, let's see, I think it is 4 massages a week. Or sorry, 12 massages a week. 16 massages a week. So 16 massages a week, let's just say I'm more comfortable with 12 massages a week. So we'll say that's 48 per month. We're going to change this up a little bit so we can see how it changed the numbers. Okay, so we're going to do 48 massages per month, charged at $95 a session, no additional income. So we see we have a total monthly income of $4,560. I'm going to pay $50 of each massage to myself, and you'll see it change the numbers here. Taxes are lower, totals are different, so on and so forth. And then I need more money to cover each session because I am not doing as many. So I need now almost $71 minimum. And my cost per client went up because I have less clients, but I didn't change my expenses at all. Okay, we can see wouldn't really be worth my while to take HealthNet, Kaiser, or Cigna. And it looks like I'm still okay when it comes to the annual profit or loss. So I can work with this. Let's say I wanted to charge, we'll try to get it in the red a little bit. Let's say my average session price was $75. I wanted to keep it on the low end because I want to make sure everyone can afford it, so on and so forth. So my salary per month's $2,400. That's not very high. That's another thing to think about. My cost per session is still really high, and but I'm still making ends meet. But let's say I had a goal of saving $300 a month. Okay, my cost per session, my minimum cost per session, $76.79. My cost per client's $26.79. And let's say my rent was, oh, you know what I didn't do? I see why it didn't change like I thought it would. Oops. I am dragging these across so they can change every month, not just one month. Another good thing to remember. We'll change this back to 500 because I think that's going to meet the thing I was trying to do. Okay, so if I want to save $300 every month, not just one month, then that's going to put me in the red by about $1,000. So I'm going to need to either increase my cost per session or reduce the number of expenses that I have or increase the number of sessions. So maybe I go back to 16 massages per week. Then I'm making a little bit more money, and then I'm okay again. So play around with the numbers, and that will kind of tell you what your minimum cost per session. So yes, we have this set at 75 here, which is still above this. But what we're saying is, there's fluctuation. So if you are charging $75 strictly every session, then you're going to be good. But if you are discounting at all, then your average amount charged per session is going to go down. So that's kind of how you can think about it with the minimum. So with the minimum being almost 69, you really couldn't discount much. So you would definitely want to make sure that that's like bottom line. I never do discounts. I never do promotions. And I don't increase my expenses without understanding that I need to also make additional income in order to maintain these expenses that I have here. I hope that makes sense. And then the multiple therapist is kind of playing around with, if you had multiple therapists that you were paying a percentage to, then what would that look like? So obviously I have about 4 here. They're doing between 12 and 16 massages per month. Maybe I'm one of those. We're doing same $95 per session, and we're paying $50 per session. So same deal here in blue. You don't change anything because we have formulas there unless you know how to do that type of thing. Your total salary for the massage therapist is, these totals on the top here. And then we have our expenses, which may or may not be accurate. And you can play around. Like, what if I had a receptionist who did billing for me and I paid them this amount per month? What would that look like? So this can help with future business goal setting, or just seeing if you'd ever want to own a business that had more types of therapist in it. And then we have our taxes still set at 30% here. And then we have our total monthly expenses at the bottom. Same thing over here, annual expenses, annual income, not making a ton of profit here because of the way things are set up. So it'll be something to play around with. We have a pretty high cost per session and cost per client. And you can see that for like a lot of these, you would be losing a lot of money, but then you also wouldn't be making very much off of each insurance company. So that would be something to think about, especially because, you're going to be doing a lot of billing if you have a lot of therapists, but maybe you do take MBA and workers' comp. So, lots to think about and play around with there, but you can adjust these, maybe you add another therapist who does part-time, maybe 20 massages per month. And then we play around with like, okay, we have a little bit more of a profit, but also we have more clients. So we need to think about, what is that increase here? Probably increases massage, laundry, maybe office supplies a little bit, maybe reception and billing, but maybe not if they're just a part or full-time person who does this in their hours. So you would want to figure out kind of how you increase those as well. But generally it looks like adding another part-time therapist would be a good idea in this situation. And then many types of practitioners would be, say you want to have a clinic, a wellness clinic, where you have chiropractors, acupuncturists, naturopathic doctors, so on and so forth. So lots of things that you would play around with here to see what their numbers are. A little bit more robust. I know this probably is a little bit overwhelming for some of you, but maybe you play around with the first one, get comfortable with it first, and then come try out this one. But you can see all the different, same types of numbers: total salary, monthly expenses, taxes. In this one, I let the revenue be red, so you could kind of see the profit, and you can play around with it. Minimum amount per, whether or not insurance covers. This is for massage. I don't really know the numbers for chiropractic, acupuncture, or indies, so I would need to, find that information, or you would need to if this was something you were going to do. But there's that spreadsheet. And then this last one is more complex. This one is maybe not for people who don't feel very comfortable in Excel. Maybe this is something I could help you with if it's something that you wanted to do. But basically, if you kind of wanted to start with having different massage therapists, but you know that the first few months that they start with you, they're not going to have as many massages as they will after they've spent some time there. So maybe they start month 1 with 25 massages, then month 2 they grow, month 3 they grow, then they're steady. You can kind of play around with numbers so you can see each month when you'll start breaking even, when you'll start making a profit, that type of thing. So this one's a little bit more advanced. And again, if you're not comfortable with spreadsheets, but this is something that you need, you can always schedule a session with me. I currently, at this time of November 2022, am charging $75 per hour, but my prices will be going up to $100 an hour in 2023. So if you are interested in this and you'd like to book a session, please reach out, massagebusinesscoach@gmail.com, or visit my website, massagebusinesshelp.com. Always happy to help. Always excited to help my fellow massage therapist feel comfortable, safe, happy, secure, like they're thriving. That's my 100% my whole goal here. So if you decide that you want to buy this spreadsheet, download it from my website and my store, massagebusinesshelp.com. And if you need any help with it after you purchase it, please feel free to reach out to me via email. If it's a quick question, I don't charge for those. I'm happy to answer them. If it's a suggestion on something I could add or how I can improve it, I'm happy to do that as well. But if it's a more involved session, like you need to be walked through it, then we'll set up a time for a coaching session. All right, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you're able to find your bottom line, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from some of you soon.